Hola, my friends, y bienvenidos, mi amigos. Welcome to Blockchain Technologies and Mining. Out of Miami, I'm your host, Alex, and I will be discussing how to possibly get your 5700s that may be running a little hot on the memory side to maybe a cooler temperature that'll be better for the card and run a lot more efficient. Now here on my HiveOS mining rig, you'll notice I have three 5700s, which are Dells, and these are actually running hotter than my other cards, and I'll go over that in a minute. They're running at, and I don't look at the core. The core is not as important on these cards. They usually run pretty cool. It's the memory. They're very memory intensive, especially with ET hash, F hash. That's going to be very memory intensive and not core intensive, like something like Ravencoin. So on the Radeon, the Dells, I showed you earlier in the video how small of a surface area for dissipating heat it has. That's why these are much hotter. So if you notice, it's at 80, 80, and 80, while even my Radeon 7s, which usually run a little hotter, at 71, and my other two XFX at 72 and 72. I mean, these things are running at 80 here in an AC unit, well, air-conditioned location, where it stays somewhere around 74 and has circulation. This is where I do my work. And you'll notice that, it's still at 80 degrees, which is considerably hot for being in an AC location. These are, if not as bad, probably worse. Not worse. Actually, the mechs probably are the worst. The MSI 5700 mechs. If you open up one of those mechs, you'll notice that not only they have very little thermal paste on the GPU chip, but the thermal pads, they only have it like maybe half to 3/4 on thermal pads on the memory chips. I mean, in order to save money, I guess, but it has a secondary effect of just heating up these chips, and they shouldn't have done that. So I'm not sure why that happened. I'm sure it's for saving money, but still, the long-term effect on those cards is going to be, they're going to be running hot. So I'm going to break one of these up, maybe go ahead and redo the thermal pads and do the thermal paste, and I'll do a video throughout so you can see how to do it. I'm also going to try to see if I can do it without taking off the warranty sticker, but I don't know if you know this, there is some kind of law that says that you are able to take them apart in order to service them, to change the thermal paste or change the fans, but not directly mess with the chips or any other part of the card. I haven't personally done that, but I know people have done that. And also, if you notice, my Radeon 7 is running 97 megahertz. It can go all the way to 100. That's for another video. I can get these things to run to about 100, 101. But I'll do another video on how to do that with HiveOS. I could also do it with Simple Miner, but HiveOS is my favorite. And these I really won't touch. I mean, at 72 degrees, they're pretty good. So let's see how far I can get these down. And if you see where I'm mining, you'll see this is the 5700s, the Dells. They're mining just fine at 53, 53, 53, 57 for the 700 Radeon 7, and then the two 5700s running at 53, 52 respectively. So let me get to that, and let's break down and let's see how we get them to run cooler. Here's the mining rig that I'll be working on. You have a Radeon 7 with the settings and the configuration to have it run near 100 mega hash. It's not in the scope of this video, but I'll do another video on how to do that. You could do it with either Simple Miner or HiveOS. Here's an XFX5700. Then you have an XFX thick 5700, and then these three are came out of Dell's 5700s that came out of Dell's. But if you notice, look at the difference between even the XFX. The XFX thick has more of a cooling surface area. These don't. And as you notice, when I showed you the heat on the Dells, the three Dells were much higher in the memory because there really isn't much cooling space. So I'm going to take one of these out, repaste it, re-put the pads, and see if that improves it. Also, if you notice these zip ties, you're probably thinking, why do I have zip ties? I haven't cut them. Actually, these are quick release zip ties. I love them because you press a little button here and you could actually loosen it and they come out completely, and you zip it out, and then you can always tighten it again. So, but I like these. They don't look as pretty, but they're good for especially test benches, which is what this is, as you're inserting cards in and out. So here's the card taken out. This is the 5700. If you notice, now it doesn't have anything in the front. Really just says Radeon. And also what I noticed is very interesting. It doesn't have any safety stickers on the back, which, you know, the warranty sticker, sorry, that normally they have. So that's pretty interesting. Didn't know that. So, and also I'm going to use my Power Extra drill. It's really good. It's got, you know, automatic, for electric forward, back. It's got a little flashlight in the front, and it's got a little flashlight in the back. So this comes really handy, especially for working on these. So let me go ahead and take these out. First thing I'm going to take out is going to be here for this. There we go. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to take out the outside ones first or the inside. I think I'm just going to take the inside ones out first. Those inside ones might just be for the GPU. Let me take these outside ones and take everything off. Also, these screws sometimes are different sizes, so you want to kind of bundle them up. It looks like these are all the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one. Yeah, these two stay on the little rim there. And of course, take out all the other outside ones. It's not going to be loose yet. So I want to take out these as well. This drill bit's just a little too big. Let me get another one that fits it. Yeah, it's just, here we go, much smaller bit. Oops. I was tightening there. Yeah, this drill bit works perfect. Let's see where we're at. Take all these out here. Actually, on these, it's too big now. Go figure. Too small, actually. So now I need a bigger one for these. And let's see if it comes off. There it goes. Okay, so looking at the thermal pads here, looks like it's got full thermal pads, so it shouldn't be heating up. I'm not sure if it's positioned correctly, or maybe the thermal paste also looks fine. Looks like it's got plenty on there, and maybe plenty on here. But see, I mean, the cooler is so small. These are really bad design. And then you also got this strip to cool these down, but that one is thinner, if you notice. So these here are to cool these down, and you could tell that that's a little bit too thin. So I'll probably put a bigger one here for more surface area. Also, for, let's see the chip. So if I take this off and you put this on the chip, yeah, it looks like it does cover the whole area. So that's fine. I am going to replace them anyways, and the thermal paste, to see what it does, see if it actually helps, just in case. So let me get back to, let me go get some alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and clean that up, and I'll come right back. So here I have applied the thermal tape. As you can see, I put them where they need to be on the memory chips. You don't want to make them too small. You want to cover all the area. You also don't want to make them too big where it folds over the side and maybe touch other circuits unnecessarily. So that's what I did there. And putting it back together. Now, I forgot about that. The thermal paste is the next part. And this is where a lot of people fail, make mistakes, just like I did when I first started doing this, where I plopped it on there. It's not necessary. You just put in there just a little drop, not a drop, but a little, you know, nice bead, especially for a chip this small, because it will, once you squish it, it'll start spreading all around. Now, what I use is the Cryonaut. That's the one I like to use the most. It's got good ratings and it's worked very well for me. So here I'm going to apply just a little drop. a bead, you can say. And that should be more than enough, especially for a chip that small. That might even be too much, but that's better to be safe than sorry. And then installation is going to be reversal of removal. So it's important that you present it perfectly. Get those little pins in where they need to be on the motherboard matched up. And then just press in. So let's see here. There we go. Do I have it? Yes. I have it here in the back. And installations installation back is the same as removal, just reverse. So I gave you that. Let me do that and I'll come back and see what kind of temperatures we get. Okay, I put the card together, put all the screws. I didn't want to bore you with me putting in the screws of 5 minutes just watching me do that. Also, I wanted you to show you something pretty interesting. This is the Wemo. I have these on most of my rigs. It's pretty interesting because if you see, I have my 2 rigs here, and the Wemo, if you press the item, it tells you exactly all this information, how much power is being used. I mean, that's actually not accurate. You got to reload it, and sometimes you have to do it once or twice. It will give you the statistics for the wattage. It says now 294. I think my rig's not working because I took out that card. It's probably trying to put a configuration of another card. But anyways, here's another one that I have. This one's actually accurate. You see there, it shows you how much the average is, the wattage. I put 12 cents a kilowatt in the configuration, and then you see how much it'll spend a month and a day. And then also that little button there, the little green button, you press that and it turns the rig on and turns it off for reboot. This thing is very inexpensive. I'll put a link down at the bottom so that way you guys can order it, or you could just, find it somewhere else. Okay, I'll come back with the results. So here we are now. Actually, it wasn't this one. Remember, just because it's in position 0 doesn't mean it's going to be in slot 0. It pretty much changes around. So the one that I actually did work on was this one. And if you notice, it runs a little bit cooler than the other ones. Here I have the original one. Let me bring it over. The one that I did. And I can't do that. I have to bring this. There we go. The original one, where if you see it was 53.05 megahash, 56 and 80, and now it's 5306 megahash, 55 and 80. So it did cool it down a little bit as far as the core, but the memory kind of stayed the same. It does fluctuate though from 78, as you can see. It's fluctuating from 78 to 80, not like before. Before it wasn't doing that. It was actually sitting at 80 and 82. But as you can see now, the temperature is going between 55, 78. So I did bring it down 1 to 2 degrees. It's something. It's not enough. But this, again, the surface space on that was just not great, and they're not really good cards to keep cool. But you see, it's still saying a 78, so it is a success. I saved at least 2 degrees. That's something. Keeps it cooler, runs it better, less power. So I think even the 2 degrees helped. So thank you very much. If you like this video, please click on the like and subscribe, and I'll bring out more content. Probably my next one's going to be on how to get a Radeon 7 to do 100 megahertz. Thank you. Have a great day.